This is Indie Business Podcast, episode 80. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Indie Business Podcast. I am your host, mentor, and coach, Donna Maria, the founder and CEO of Indie Business. My goal is to help you build a solid business foundation, increase your income, and use your business to create the life you love. In this episode, I interview Mindy Cheng of Fyve Beauty in Cupertino, California. Mindy started her business after creating a simple formula that helped her daughter's skin condition. That was in 2011. By 2016, she had gone part-time at her job to begin building her brand. And in 2017, she quit her job altogether to pursue Fyve Beauty full-time. And as she says in this episode, she never looked back. Mindy makes all of her products herself and is fortunate to have the full support of her husband, who occasionally helps out with shipping when larger orders come in. You'll love learning about the intentionality with which Mindy leads her business and how she combines running it with being the mom of 2 active children. You can get a summary for this episode at indiebusinessnetwork.com/80. But first, this episode of Indie Business Podcast is brought to you by the Indie Business School, a virtual learning experience for makers by makers to help you learn new skills to grow your creative business. Take your next class at indiebusinessschool.com. And now let's welcome Mindy Cheng of Fyve Beauty in Cupertino, California. Mindy Cheng of Fyve Beauty in Cupertino, California. Welcome to Indie Business Podcast.
Thank you, Donna Maria. I'm so honored to be on your podcast.
Well, I have so many questions for you, and it's really hard for me to avoid at the beginning sharing this amazing product I bought from you last week. But I'm gonna save that for a little bit later on and let everybody know you're in for a big treat when we talk about this. But I'd love to know just a little bit, Mindy, about how you started Fyve Beauty and when did you get started, and a little bit about your story.
Sure. So when my daughter was born, she was born in 2011. So this was quite a while ago. But I think this story is very relatable to any new parent. But when she was a baby, she had eczema and very sensitive skin. And so it was my first time ever looking at the ingredient labels on the back of lotion bottles, trying to help soothe her eczema. And like I said, I think this is a very relatable story because prior to that time, I never even thought about what are we putting on our bodies, what goes into these products. And just the fact that, as you know, I always like to say I went mama bear crazy on this situation. You know, you as a parent, you try to do everything you can to protect or help or, fix anything with your children, right? And so I just remember standing in the aisle, grabbing every all-natural product I could find, reading the labels, so confused, still finding fragrances listed in these all-natural products that were agitating, her rashes. And I just felt so cheated, confused, and frustrated. And it was coincidentally that my friend, a good friend of mine, introduced me to the world of essential oils and aromatherapy. Mm-hmm. And so I started making products for her. And
you got hooked, didn't you?
Yeah, I got hooked. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was like, my husband was like, what is this witchcraft voodoo stuff that you're getting into? What are you putting on our child?
What are all these smells in my house?
Right. Oh my gosh. And the little tinctures in the bottles. He's like, what's going on here, Mindy? However, I just mixed together coconut oil, shea butter, a little beeswax at the time. I think I even just threw it in my microwave and mixed it together, threw in some essential oils. I think at the time we used a little bit of lemongrass and lavender. And I slathered that stuff on my daughter's arms and, her rashes would would subside. The
Yeah.
flare-ups would go down. She was happy, laughing
Uh-huh.
again.
I love it.
And oh my gosh, I was like, you know what? It was a conversation over dinner one night. I was talking to my husband. I said, that lotion I made has like 5 ingredients. And he's like, that's amazing. And suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, I should start a company and call it Fyve. And he's like, you should.
That
And
is, what a
yeah.
great story.
And, I sat with it for a few years until I really decided, you know what, I want to do this. And then it took us another 2 or 3 years to actually financially be able to
Mhm.
have me quit my full-time job, which I was a full-time engineer. I was an engineering
Mhm.
manager at an engineering firm.
Mhm.
Um, and so we decided in 2017, that was the year I quit my job. I started a business and I've never looked back ever since.
This is so interesting. So first of all, you got hooked, like completely blindsided by being hooked too. It sounds like you had no idea that this world was even really out there. It's amazing what our children bring us to, isn't it?
Exactly.
Um,
Yes.
and so you're playing around, and you said your husband was like all on board. But what was it like did you ever think you would actually quit your job, or did you think maybe I could do both? Tell us a little bit about that decision, and what went into that.
Sure. Yes. And it wasn't, yeah, just full on. I quit my job. I, incorporated. I was trying to do it on the side, and then
Hmm.
funny story. I actually worked for my father, who's also an entrepreneur, and I've worked for him my whole career, 15 years working for his corporation. And so I went to my boss and I said, "Hi, Dad." I would like to see if I can go part-time so that I can try this business out. And of course he
Yeah.
was, pretty accommodating. It was like, okay, well, let's see what we can do and shift things around. So I did go
Wow.
part-time. Yeah.
And when did you go
Um,
part time? What year was that?
so let's see, I think that was 2016. And
Okay.
we, by the end of 2016, or that summer, we finally found a really good replacement for me at work. And
Ah,
so
okay.
towards the end of that year, I was transitioning everything over. And so at the start of 2017, I was able to leave the corporation,
Maybe
the
it's
company.
such a
Yeah.
great story, because I quit my job too, Mindy.
Hmm.
Maybe if I had worked for my dad, I would have done it more carefully, because
Yeah.
literally I just got up and walked out one day.
Well,
when
sometimes, yeah. Well, sometimes when a
yeah.
good thing is in front of you, you just have to jump at it. I mean,
Well, yeah, I ended up going back because I went broke.
oh,
But no, I
well,
think, and when I told my dad, he was like, it wasn't his company, but anyway, it's a whole thing. But
yeah.
I'm so excited to hear you share about that. Now, like, how do you feel about what we're hearing today? Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and even just
Oh
right
gosh.
now, there's so much news about women who are leaving the workforce. And this is not a new thing. It's happened before. But right
Right.
now, because of the pandemic, and the timing, I know that's not why you left, but because of the timing, I'm just curious to know, like, do you see, um, do you, when you hear the news about how difficult it is for women with young children like you to be able to handle
Hmm.
everything that's associated with the pandemic, like in hindsight, are you glad you don't have the full-time job sort of
Oh, yes.
program as opposed to what you have now?
So I actually take to heart, Donna Maria, what you preach, which has always been create the life that you envision or want. And I think what ultimately got me to decide to leave my job was at the time my children were, let's see, I think in kindergarten and third grade, maybe even preschool, second grade. So they were young. And when I was working at my engineering job, I would drop those kids off at the pre, like before school started care program
Like
at 7
pre-dawn
a.m.
daycare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were the they were the first children to arrive at 7 a.m. when they opened. And thank God for that place, because they would feed the children breakfast and I would go to work, and I literally would be one of the last parents to pick up at 6 p.m. I mean, how is that okay? Right. So I was just thinking, how do I create the life that I want? How do I not leave my children for 13 plus hours or whatever it is, or 12 hours almost, right? And so this was kind of a ticket out. I thought, you know what, if I can find a way to make this business grow, while still being there for my children when they're young. Like, my biggest fear was that someday I would finally say to my kids, hey guys, mom finally has time for you. Like, let's go do something. And they'll be like, go away, mom. I don't need you anymore.
I don't
and that
know
was
you.
my biggest fear. Exactly. And so I just decided, you know what, this is the time to do it. We need to make a change. And so I think this is very relatable to today with the pandemic. It has caused people to make drastic changes, because it makes you take a good hard look at, where am I in life? What am I doing? What is it that is making me unhappy? What do I want to do? And pandemic or not, I think those questions are very important.
Yes, and they're always relevant to women.
Always.
And it seems like it's the same question, different crisis.
Yes.
Like, there was the recession, it was the same question. Then a new administration, same question. And it just seems like it just never seems to go away. And I know for me, and it sounds like similar for you, like, I didn't see anybody solving that problem for me. Because I asked for part-time work, and this was 20 years ago, long before you. My boss looked at me like I had lost my mind, because she was like, when I was an attorney, but, and so they wanted their clients to walk through and see people sitting in seats, wearing fancy suits and working really hard. And if I wasn't there to do that, then what good would I do? Like, working from home didn't help them as much. So I think things have eased a little bit, but I love what you're saying about the fact that we can be empowered to create what we want. And that's a privilege. Like, everybody can't do that.
Exactly. And I realize that. Yes.
But if you can,
yes.
And maybe that would make it better down the road for people who can't do it now. If they see us doing it,
right,
then maybe, it will be more palatable to them, or maybe, the world can somehow help position more people to be able to do that if they see more people doing it. So thank you for being an inspiration and a role model in that regard.
Aww.
So you chose your business name based on the 5 ingredients. Tell us a little bit about that and how the FYVE spelling came along.
Sure. Well, I think it naturally, I just gravitated towards the idea of simplicity. And I think I try to live my life that way as well. There's this famous Confucius saying of, life is simple, but we insist on making it difficult. And, with that mindset, I think, I think it's true. If we could just let go of the things that no longer serve us, if we can just go back to the basics, or, just live a simpler, happier life. It just really resonated with me. And so I thought, you know what, this would be great, because people tend to take on too much when they go into business. And five ingredients, that already just focuses on the simplicity of each product, the quality of ingredients. And it was just a great focus for me. And so the spelling, well, I really did want to just call it 5, like the number 5. However, I, was talking to some attorneys and figuring out, how do I trademark it? And, a lot of people are like, you can't really trademark a number 5. That's just not possible. And
right.
Yeah, right. So I thought, well, maybe I'll, do something unique, and it'll be a great just impression for people. And so I was trying, maybe Fyve, and I was thinking of all these different ways to spell five. So I just settled on Fyve, thinking it was the more, I don't know, intuitive one to go with.
And it presents so well, especially with the stylized font that you use for your brand.
You.
So, Mindy, I have to ask you, you seem so organized to me. Like,
really?
I see you do. I see you on Facebook and I see the videos that you do. I'm like, are you making everything yourself?
I am, yes.
Okay, so you have to make the products, design the products, and then you have to learn all these really cool video tricks now. So I'm looking at videos and boomerangs and rewinds and stuff. And I'm like, this is amazing. So my question is what is a typical day like for you? Like, how do you organize learning new things with making new things and then marketing and selling and updating your website? I mean,
I honestly don't know.
Okay, well, we're going to figure it out in this podcast because people need to know, right?
Yes. Well, the truth is, I think it starts with a mindset, which I've always had, which is I can do anything. We are smart.
Wow.
We are smart women. We can do anything, especially in today's world. One word, YouTube,
Yeah, how about that?
If you don't know something, YouTube it. Google
right, it's on your phone.
It's right there. So obviously, you need some basic knowledge or basic talents. Maybe you need some basic equipment, but beyond that, I truly believe if you have the mindset of anything's possible, you can do it. You can do it. I learned to take my own photographs of my products. I did hire somebody to take some of the model shots and some of the stylized shots, but for the most part, a lot of the photos that you see on Instagram and Facebook are done by myself. And it's literally me going to Michael's and buying a white poster board for the background, and then going to Home Depot, trying to find, this acrylic board, or, just buying things on Amazon. Oh, I need lighting. Okay, let's go on Amazon and see if I can find what this YouTube video person was talking about. And I just set it up and I tried it. Oh, that doesn't look good. Fix this. Okay. Oh, here we go. So it just starts with that mindset of bring on the challenge. I can do it. And if and if I try and I can't, there's always somebody out there that I can hire. That's a last resort. But if you can do it, So
I love that approach. And you know what? I think another word that occurs to me as you're talking is confidence. Because of course everyone knows they have YouTube in their pocket, but not everyone thinks that they are equipped, I don't know, emotionally or what have you, to be able to learn it and then put it out there. So what would you say about the confidence? What words of encouragement can you offer for some of our maker listeners who, I got YouTube, but I'm afraid I'll do it wrong, or
right. Well, I guess what's the worst thing that can happen? What is truly the worst thing? So you're out a couple $100 because you bought, maybe the wrong equipment, or you tried something and it doesn't work. It doesn't mean you need to post it on Instagram, no one's ever going to know. One's ever going to see it. Right. And, talk to people, I mean, the Indie Business Network, for one, we have a plethora of knowledge,
resources. Yeah. It's true.
And the truth is, I was not always like this. I'm actually a naturally very shy introvert person. And I'm scared. I will Google and research and YouTube things before I even pick up a phone call to go talk to somebody.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because as the leader here at Indie Business, I watch, and you probably know I watch because I comment a lot on what I see you do,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoy that. And here's what I've noticed, and I've never said this to you before, but I want to share with you and others too, that I had a sense that you were more of an introvert. And you know how I did that is because as you have done more of these videos, your personality is starting to come out
Mm,
more than it was
interesting.
at the beginning. And there's a difference. Like if I were to go, and I remember watching this evolution. Like I actually watched this, and because I noticed, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I notice a lot of these things. And I saw, I said, she's out there, she's putting herself out there. And over
Mm-hmm.
time, it seems to have become so much more natural. And the videos are even more fun than they were at the beginning. So I know you're learning new things. And it is just it's like a lesson in entrepreneurship sometimes to just watch somebody evolve for 12 months.
Wow,
And
that's
I think
amazing to
that
hear.
does make a difference. It does. And I think if we as entrepreneurs, because we always think, that our role models and mentors are people that we have to know personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, even though I've been in business for longer and I have a different type of business, I feel like watching you do that empowers me as a woman to do the same thing. And I think that's what
Wow.
the effect that we have on each other, even though we don't always talk about that.
Mm, wow, that is really interesting.
It is. And,
Yeah.
it's not something that I've ever articulated before, but I just want to put it out there for our listeners because you can learn so much by seeing someone else evolve and put yourself in that position and go, well, I could start with like the simple, little video on Instagram. And then a year
Mm-hmm.
later, look at her videos now. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you
That's
love
true.
that today in society, all this stuff used to be hidden? Like with social media, you can see other people evolve. So you can see that, what someone looked like 10 years ago compared to what their
Right.
brand looks like today. And you can go, wait a minute, I can start with that because
Right.
ew. And I'll look at the old stuff we did and it
Right.
was like, ew. So don't take it down, everyone. Keep it up
Yeah.
because it really is an inspiration.
Right. It's a storyline or
It
a
is.
timeline. Yeah. A
Yeah.
living timeline.
So tell me a little bit about your business, and do you sell wholesale, retail, shows? Like, how do you sell your products?
Yes, so I do wholesale, and we're in about 22 stores right now.
Ooh,
And then I
congrats.
obviously, oh, thank you. Yeah, so we are working on that. This year, particularly, I want to spend more effort in getting into more stores for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then also, yes, we have our website, so we do retail. Um, and Before the pandemic, I was doing local shows, but again, my
Mm-hmm.
shy nature, it's not fun for me. I
Okay,
know some
okay.
people out there are, they love it. They love talking to customers. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like anxiety attack,
Anxiety producing.
just producing. Yeah, exactly. And it's not my favorite thing to do. I'll just say that. There are times where I feel like, okay, I need to do it. But,
Mm-hmm.
I go back to, again, Donna Maria, what you preach, which is, if you don't like doing something, don't do it. If that's
Don't do
not the
it,
life
right?
that if you don't like trade shows, don't go or whatever, if it's like,
Yeah,
if that's
yeah,
not what you want to do, you don't have to
yeah,
do it just because everyone
yeah,
else is doing it. There's so many
yeah.
other ways, right?
Right.
And so
We have
I
so much
like,
more power. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, there's many avenues to gain business. So yeah.
So your goal over the long term is to have more wholesale than retail. Like you want to be in more stores than you want to sell online, or do you know yet?
I'm not sure. I think in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning I was going back and forth on, oh, it should be more retail. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think I need to sell direct. And then I finally have concluded, well, hello, I think I should just do both. So
Just do
I
both.
haven't,
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't really decided if, I should spend more effort on one or the other. Um, so I'm just doing both. One of the biggest wins that we have just received was that in a few weeks' time, we'll be in a total of 13 Whole Foods market stores. So we're so excited.
That's fantastic. I'm
Yes.
so excited for you. That's wonderful. And I also see, I think that you've landed some media features as well.
Here and there. I
Yeah,
haven't spent too much effort, but yes, we try and
nice.
collaborate, yes, with bloggers or anyone who'd like to share, spread the word. Yes.
So, Mindy, how many products do you have in your line?
Oh my gosh, how many do I have?
Oh my goodness,
I
they
I
all
don't even
look
know.
so beautifully laid out. We could probably count them because
Yeah.
I'm on your website right now and they're so well
There's
organized and
probably about
yeah.
15 or so products right
And
now.
what's your best
Yeah.
seller right now? I know it kind of may vary with the seasons and so forth,
Right.
but what's hot right now?
Well, the lemongrass body butter that you have, that is definitely one of our best sellers. And another one is a vanilla lavender body oil.
Okay,
So,
I bought the lemongrass body butter, everyone. And let me just tell you, not only is the product amazing, but the presentation in the box is like, I opened the box and I thought, I need to be an influencer and do a video like immediately. And, of course, the last thing I need to do is something like that. But I wanted immediately to share. And so let's talk about that because one of the things that is so important for anybody selling anything today is to make it shareable, like to make it so that other people do some of your marketing for you.
yes.
So when you package your products, like tell us a little bit about like what goes into that. Like in my box, for example, with the
Mhm.
body butter, it wasn't just body butter in a box.
Right. So we put a piece of tissue paper folded very nicely. So that's the first thing that lays down into the package.
Hmm.
And then we fill it with recyclable material,
Hmm.
shredded paper, and we put the product. Well, in your case, you purchased one item, and I don't even remember, but apparently we placed it right in the center of the box, and then we put in one piece of paper, which is it's a plantable, recyclable, or biodegradable paper that we print on. So it's got wildflower seeds on it, and it just gives you a little bit of, thank you. This is what you purchased, and we're also paperless in terms of your invoice or your packing list. And so it says, where's my packing slip? Well, look in your email to look at what you purchased. But if we got anything wrong, let us know. We triple check. And so that goes on top. And then we put a couple of samples. And then we fold that tissue paper up very neatly so that it looks like an actual like a gift. And so then we put a
It
sticker
really
on top.
does. I mean, I'm sitting here with my box, and for those of you who are listening, like I'm looking at the tissue paper in the top where everything's nicely folded, and there's a 5 sticker. And when I open the tissue paper, I see the 5 sticker, by the way, closes the tissue paper. And then when I
Mhm.
open it up, I see the plantable paper from
Mhm.
you that has little notes. You did it. Yes, I did. I made my purchase. Your questions. Where's my packing slip? You explained to me why there's no packing slip. There's also a personalized note signed by Mindy on the back of the paper there. There's a sticker that I can put on my refrigerator to remind me that I need to buy more. There's also 2 samples. I got a facial cleansing oil sample and a bamboo clay mask sample. But the thing that got me, and I'm going to put a picture of this in the blog post so people can see, is like I ordered like the least expensive thing on your site. It's just like 1 ounce of body butter. And
Mhm.
you wrapped it into this recyclable like crinkle paper, but it looks like it's like got a diamond ring in it or something because it's so carefully done. It
Oh
didn't look like
gosh.
it was done in a hurry. And so the question that I have is, did you know that this sort of care to detail would have effects on people like this? And how do you do this for all of your orders? It's just you do everything. And I'm just wondering, like, how do you do that? It's very beautifully presented.
I came across an article that talks about the consumer journey, and that we as consumers tend to remember our first impression and our last impression. And for us as online retailers, that last impression is when you receive that package in your mail. And so I took that to heart, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. That's a simple addition that I can do. I can make the presentation nice and leave that lasting impression. And so we just added that into our procedure, and we don't know if it works. We don't know how people feel. We're hoping that it works.
Worked on me.
So it's great. Yeah. So it's great to hear your feedback on that. Wonderful.
Yeah. So Mindy, what are some of the technology tools in your business that you cannot live without that work to promote and connect with your customers?
Let's see. I use the Later app, which helps schedule posts, and both on Instagram and Facebook. So that one is really helpful, and it does give you some insights on how well your posts are doing,
like your engagement and stuff.
Yeah. So that's Later. What else do I use? Canva. So Canva is an online web-based tool where you can edit your videos, posts, and they have the correct sizing. So if it's an Instagram story, it'll automatically size it correctly for you. Or if it's an Instagram post, you want it to be a square or, whatever size. So, and they've got a lot of free images you can use, and it's great. So those are probably the two main ones that I cannot live without.
And when you use Later, do you sit down on Sunday evenings and schedule everything out for the week, or do you have any sort of system that you use for that?
Yes, so I do try to schedule out about a week in advance, and it feels so great because when you're done, you're like, yes, I don't have to think about or worry about, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday, I haven't posted anything, So it's like I've got my whole week laid out. And, I don't know what day it happens. Sometimes it's on Monday, sometimes it's on Tuesday, and I get, 5 or 7 days out. So it's random, but I do try and schedule a few days all at one sitting. So that does help.
Yeah, I bet. And how do you do you have people that help you in your business in any way? Do you have bookkeeper, accountant, I don't know, UPS or packing, shipping? What do you use, day to day outside of marketing to help with your business, people and otherwise?
Currently, no one else, just me. If I do get a large order, my husband helps when he can, which is funny because there was a time where I needed him to help package some of the products, and he was trying to put that tissue paper and that label on top, and his very first one, he looks at his box and he looks at my box and he's like, oh my God, mine's ugly.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know how you do that. And I'm like, no, you have to fold it first, or you have to do this. And
let's send him some YouTube video links, Mindy.
Right.
I love it though.
I didn't show him exactly how to do it right, and he just was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do this," but
well, you have a knack for it. It's true. So, but you do all this yourself. Okay, so let me ask you this: how many hours a week do you think you work, or do you know how many? Do you try to keep it at a certain number or a certain number of days? Do you take all Sundays off? How do you manage doing all this?
I really don't know how I do it, but if I had to think about it, let's see. I think I spend maybe 40 to 50 hours a week. It's not unreasonable. I do try
You're organized, though. You have to be organized.
Yes.
Yeah.
And naturally, I am a very organized person. So
that helps.
Yes. And to be honest, it helps that we are in this pandemic and my two kids are doing distance learning at home, because all of our schedules are, randomly will all be free at 1:30 in the afternoon. So it does force me to, you know what, I need to take a break. I need to hang out with my kids. So we'll go for a walk. We'll go do, we'll do something. And there are times where I try to force myself on, say, Friday after lunch, I'm taking that whole afternoon off. I'm going to go do whatever it is, just self-care or hang out with my family. Yeah. So I do have to remind myself or force myself to do something. Otherwise I would be doing it all the time. I love it. You can't pull me away from it. Yeah. You get sucked in. I mean,
yeah, and it's so interesting to try to explain that to some people who may not be fortunate enough to have a quote unquote job that they really like. I know, I know over the years, it's hard sometimes. It's like, I just want to do another podcast. I'll be right there, honey. It's just kind of, when you really, really do love what you do and you actually see that you're making a difference in the world, and you're obviously making a difference in your home too, that's obvious. But when you see, the feedback from people who enjoy what you made and they come back and they buy more, and the process, as someone told me the other day, the process of making is not only fun, but also therapeutic. Do you find that to be the case?
Yes, definitely. It's all worth it when you get that feedback and you put a smile on someone's face. But yes, even just making the products and just being in my element, it is very therapeutic. And it's hard to explain because some people would be like, gosh, I would never do that. Right? Yeah. Well, and it's funny. Last Friday, I chose to take my afternoon off, and what I decided to do, which was I made like 30 cupcakes because there were 3 friends / relatives that had birthdays, and so I thought, well, let me drop off cupcakes for these 3 separate people. And I literally was in the kitchen working,
you were still making stuff,
working with my hands. But I was like, oh, I'm so glad I took the day off. Or, and my husband was like, you look like a hot mess.
You didn't take the day off, right?
Yeah, you didn't take the day off, but I did. I mean, yeah.
It's true. It's when you have your own business, a day off is defined differently from the way it's defined for others. And, I get excited when I have conversations like this with people who get that, because there is so much power in being able to say, okay, here's what my life looks like right now, and here's what I want it to look like. And I can take baby steps in the direction of what I want it to look like. It doesn't have to happen all at once, and it won't, and it probably shouldn't, because that's not like natural, but I can do that. And if at any point I find that I'm going in the wrong direction, guess what? I can stop and I can do something else.
Right.
And that, I think, do you think, Mindy, I mean, I think that's the direction the world is going. I know that's the direction the world is going in, is that those who are able to sort of look at their futures and go, no, I want it to be a little different, and start doing small things that make it go in that direction, will be happier.
Yes, I full on agree.
I just want that so much for everyone. And like we said earlier, I know it's not possible for everyone, but I just want to remind everyone listening that if you are able to, write down a list of things that define the way you want your life to look like in 5 years, and if entrepreneurship is a part of that, or it can actually be the means to help you get that, right?
Right. And again, with my story, it wasn't just overnight. I thought about it for a few years. And when I decided to, we saved up for a few more years. It's like, okay, I don't have the means to do it right now. Well, how do I get there? Okay, let's make some changes in our lives. I mean, I'm fortunate that my partner in life is just full on whatever you want to do, essential oils, I'm on board. You want to slather stuff on our daughter? Okay, whatever, you want to start a business? Great. So he's just so supportive of everything, that I want to do, which is amazing. So, but like you said, if you don't have the means now, well, let's make a plan to get there. How do we get there? Okay, it's going to take 5 years. okay, let's do it,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love that. I'm hoping, and I know that hearing you say that, and it's sort of being in the midst of that journey right now is going to inspire and encourage and uplift other people
Yes.
to, get that confidence and really just take little steps toward what they want. So, Mindy, share with us, if you would, as we kind of close out, what are some of your words of advice for product makers in particular to be successful in their businesses? What have you learned, and what words of wisdom can you pass on to us? In addition to the ones you already have.
Well, I'd say, definitely if you have a product that you are confident that it works, or you have friends and families that vouch, just make sure that you have a really good product to start with. And it's okay to start with one product. A lot of people are scared or worried that, oh, what if I just have one product on my website that looks so, doesn't look like I'm a real business. It's like, no, I think you should do one product and do it really well. And you got to start from somewhere, and it's okay that you have one product.
Mm-hmm. That's so simple. What great words of advice. So it brings up another question, because I feel like I could talk to you all day. What did you start with, one product or a very small line? And if so, what were they?
Yeah, actually, what's funny is it was the facial oil. It's a hydrating face oil that I started with, and the facial cleansing oil. So I didn't talk about this earlier, but I was going through an onset of adult acne after having 2 kids. My hormones were just crazy, right? And so I made these 2 products and I used it on myself, and my acne completely cleared away within about 4 to 5 weeks of using these products. So that was another kind of nudge for me to really want to start this business. And so I did start with those 2 products, which skincare is really hard. I mean, it's a hard area to start with, because people are like, who is this company and why should I trust it?
And putting all over my face.
Yeah. Right. So it was a little difficult in the beginning to try and start with that. But once I added, the ones that have the scent to it, the body butter, the body oils, I mean, those are a lot easier to kind of get through the door, or get people to try your products. But yeah.
And so how long did you just have those 2 products? Was that a long period of time? Do you remember, before you added
I don't,
more?
Gosh. Yeah, I don't really remember, but I want to say probably a good first whole year, I only had those 2 products, just the face oil and the oil cleanser.
That was so smart.
Yeah.
That was so smart.
And you know what?
I see more people doing that today, but go ahead.
Yeah. And I wish I had done just one thing, I mean, even just that alone, I felt like it was overwhelming for me to just like have 2 products. And, I mean, in retrospect, I probably should have started with the body butter and started with that, and maybe like different scents of just the one body butter. That would have been great as well. So.
Well, I'm glad you have them now. I'm so happy with this body butter. And let me just tell you, when I go to your website, I don't feel overwhelmed with the choices. I feel intrigued. And, there's a trick to that. Like, it's magic.
Oh,
there's a way, there's no 1, 2, 3, here's how to do that on YouTube videos. You kind of have to, have to express it organically through your business over time. And it's very clear that you have taken a lot of time and energy to contemplate the message and the kind of impression that you want your brand to have. And it really is exemplary. And I just want to compliment you on that. And thank you so much for sharing with us today and sharing your gifts. And thank you for your confidence and, the impact that it has on other women. I think, there's just no way to measure that. And it's really a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So
my
Fyve,
pleasure.
I mean, I just want to make sure people know Fyve Inc. Let's spell that Fyve inc.com. This is where you go to get these amazing products and lemongrass body butter. Say it with me now. It's awesome. Free shipping on orders over $50 right now at the top of the website there, at least right now. And a nice blog and just a real lifestyle with simplicity at its core. And thank you so much for this, Mindy, this time today.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to talk with you today, Donna Maria.
All right, everyone, get that lemongrass body butter and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I hope this episode of the Indie Business Podcast left you inspired, motivated, and excited about the future of your small business. Let's quickly review 3 of the most significant business insights Mindy and I discussed today. Number 1, take baby steps. Mindy started her business with 2 products in her line. That doesn't seem like a lot, but you'd heard her say that sometimes she wishes she'd started with just 1. There's so much to be done in launching a new brand that even 1 product is enough to wear you out. Starting small allows you to be intentional and careful without wearing yourself out, and it also teaches you that baby steps can lead to big results. You don't have to have a ton of products in your line to build a solid brand. Number 2, you can learn how to do anything you set your mind to. Currently, Mindy does pretty much everything in her business, from creating new formulas to ingredient and packaging sourcing, to most of the product photography, to packing and shipping, just so many things. She has learned how to do so many of these things because she has an encyclopedia in her pocket in the form of the internet on her smartphone. If she wants to learn how to do something, she looks it up on YouTube or wherever, and voila, she figures it out. These days, nothing you need to know to build a business is beyond your reach if you have a cell phone and a Wi-Fi connection. And number 3, create the life you want. Over and over, you heard Mindy repeat what she has heard me say so many times over the past 2 decades. Create the life you love. Simply stated, Mindy says she doesn't do anything in her business that does not feed the lifestyle her business is helping her to create. Do your business like you want to do it and use it to support the kind of life you want to live. Some super great insights there. Well, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, please do me the honor of rating this podcast. It helps me so much to know that you appreciate the amazing people and stories featured on this podcast. You can also share episodes from my blog at indiebusiness.com to your favorite social media outlets. I will see you on the next episode of Indie Business Podcast. In the meantime, do it with me and say it with me. Enjoy your life, build your business, and have your way.